Hello, Plannerets. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am going to review January habits and goals that I have created for myself at the beginning of the month, reflect on my progress, and see how satisfied or how well I did in actioning the habits and routines that are small, actionable habits and routine that, oops, sorry, I've got my YouTube on the side here. So what I want to do is look at how well I actioned those habits and routines throughout January, how satisfied I am with the way I, performed them, whether I did not, and then of course look at this information and it's going to help me set up the new month for February. So if you have a brief moment to join me as I reflect on January, it'd be so much appreciated to have you here with me right now. Let's go. All right, so what I want to do today, the planner printables that I am going to be using my Wheel of Life Goals tracker. So these are the 7 key areas of focus that I had set individual habits and routines for January. I'm also going to look at my habits tracker. So these are the specific actionable steps. So amongst all these 22 habits and routines are the steps that I have established that I want to achieve to reach the goal that I have set for myself. So in there are the 7 key areas of focus, and then a new planner page that I have created as part of the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable download is the end of month reflection. So I do a mid-month, so then that way I can see my progress, halfway through the month, see if I have to course correct, make any changes, but also it's a great way to look at a full month's worth. So, at least, 30 days, or well, it's going to be in February, it'll be 28 to 30 days of consistency, or day in day out, so then I can see patterns if I need to go and change things up if things aren't working well, or keep going if I'm doing a good job at the different habits and routines that I have. So the first thing I want to do is I want to first review the habits that I wanted to action for January to achieve the different goals that I've set for myself in 7 key areas based on the Wheel of Life methodology that is popularized by Zig Ziglar. So the headings can be, whatever headings you want, but I've just kept it very simple: mental, physical, spiritual, family, finance, career, and social. So for my mental well-being, that is keeping my mind active, whether it's reading, learning, or anything that challenges my brain. So that I have set for January that I'm going to read my book on my Kindle, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, a minimum of 10 minutes. So I just put the timer on my watch or on my stream deck, or I've got a Pomodoro timer. So, when the 10 minutes is up, I either finish the paragraph that I'm, reading, and then complete that, and then mark it off my tracker that I've done that. The other thing that I also was wanting to do for January was learn about I had purchased different online courses to help me, I guess, amplify my presence on my social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube. So I wanted to go back and learn my content creation module. So do this 3 to 5 times per week. So we'll see if I was able to achieve those habits and routines for my mental well-being. And then for my physical goals for January, I wanted to walk on my walking pad for a minimum of 10 minutes while listening to motivational video or podcasts 3 to 5 days a week. So I think I did that. I did change things up halfway through, and I wanted to increase the duration that I was on from 10 minutes to at least 20 or 30 minutes. So again, I can't wait to see what my progress and my result are. And then also do a workout in the gym. So I live in an apartment block, and there is a gym as part of our rent that I don't use. It's like, it's got pretty good equipment, but I right now can tell you that's a habit or the routine or a step that I didn't achieve. But that's okay. I'll reflect on why, or why not I didn't achieve certain steps that I did. And then for my spiritual well-being, so that is taking time to be mindful, so focusing on the present moment and not letting my anxiety or my self-doubt or my limiting beliefs about the past, what I had, what I should have, could have, would have done, or about the future of, I should be further ahead. So for me, the spiritual well-being relates to being mindful. So that includes meditating and using my Headspace app on my phone and following the guided meditation. And this only takes about 6 to 10 minutes. So there's a 1 minute deep breathing exercise and then a couple of guided meditation videos. Now, for family, my goals there was to spend some quality time with my husband, watching other TV shows that we enjoy, like Matlock and the other one. There's some other movies that we wanted to watch. So, and also playing Scrabble. That's a nice little, that can also link to the mental goals and well-being. I know that we didn't get to, I don't think we played Scrabble once at all in January. So I guess I probably had put a lot of effort into maybe my content creation, when that time after dinner he's watching his own shows and I'm doing my own thing. But we'll see what the result is with my habits regarding spending time with hubby. The financial goal for January was track my daily Shopify sales. And so for me, for that, tracking my sales will then allow me to see patterns. And so if there's any days that maybe I'm not selling any of my planner printable download, having a look at the correlation where that, or when I upload, or if I upload any content on YouTube or on Instagram, and then review my Etsy store listing once every week in January. So I haven't touched my Etsy store at all. I don't think I have any listing in there. I think I've deactivated. So again, I abandoned that because my plate was already quite full. So I already know that portion of the financial goal I didn't action. So for my career, which is my content creation, my influence, on Instagram, I wanted to action my course creation activity 3 to 5 times per week. So, but linking back to me learning about content creation, then actioning all the tasks and challenges that's part of my learning, and also reaching out to one brand per week, write an email asking for best contact person. As again, I had a project later on in the last half of January that I was concentrating on. So I put that in the back burner. So hopefully in February, I'll reach out to some brand collaborations and partnership. And then my social goal for January is go out with Josh in January. I don't think we did that. He's been busy. My 17-and-a-half-year-old boy, or your son, young man, has a busy social life nowadays. So I didn't want to really step on that and go, hey, spend some time with mum, but make sure that we do so in February. So I know that I'm going to have to make sure I am putting effort and focusing and prioritizing spending time with my son, because in 6 months time he'll be 18, he'll be considered an adult, he'll probably go out even more with his friends. And then also make sure I am contacting loved ones, so friends, family, whether FaceTime, on DMs, or catching up. So those are the goals and habits that I had set for myself in January. So this is how I track it, wrote down actionable, specific small steps that I know I can, perform or achieve throughout the month rather than just keeping it very general. Just like I got to read more. Okay, that's not specific enough. Or I got to exercise more. By breaking down your goals into small, actionable steps, it's going to be a lot easier for you to action it because it's specific. It's rather than just lose weight. Well, how am I going to lose weight? So make sure if you are or when you do set your new goals for the month of February, have a think, what is the end result, or where do I want to go? So if it's exercising more, fantastic. Okay, how do we get there? And the how do we get there is the what steps do we take each and every day, or 3 times a week or 5 times a week, that will get us closer to that goal. And this Wheel of Life goals tracker, so I have amended the Wheel of Life goals tracker in the Ultimate Planner bundle. I've removed the month, so then that way it can just be printed without having to worry about the month. And I've removed the headings as well, so then, because sometimes you might want to, for spiritual, you might want to look at that as reading your Bible or reading script or something that's more related to your religion. So I didn't want to, on the Wheel of Life page as part of the Ultimate Planner bundle, as you can see, the month has been removed and the headings, because then you can name it whatever you want. Maybe you can, for your mental well-being, you might break it down into a course, maybe, learning a new hobby or learning a new language. So you can go and decide the headings for yourself, and you are not limited by the headings I have on here. I follow mental, physical, spiritual, family, financial, career, and social, because that's what my brain is used to now. I'll go into that main topic. But the Ultimate Planner bundle Wheel of Life tracker, blank for the month and blank for the headings. All right, so then each of these steps that I have put in place to achieve the goals that I wanted to for the month of January, I had put them amongst my habit tracker. So these are the habits and routines throughout the day. A lot of them I already do habitually. It's part of my daily routine. I don't need to think about it. I don't even have to have a list of it, but I write it down because that's how I anchor, or that's where I stack. They call it habit stacking. So what habits and routines are you doing right now that you can maybe stack on a new one? So if you're already making coffee in the morning or brewing your tea, and you want to be able to drink more water, stack that on with something you're already doing. So these 22, so the habit tracker has 22 spaces. You don't have to use them all, especially if you are new to habit tracking. Start off with 3 or 5 habits, but make sure you are stacking it with something that you're already doing, because then it's like a stepping stone. So there is a formula called implementation intention. So it's a if this, then that. So if I brush my teeth, I'm going to take 1 minute deep breathing after. If I make my coffee in the morning, I'm going to drink a glass of water. And that is why, some people go, how can you have so many habits and routines? A lot of them is just there to trigger, or is a cue for me to do the steps that is a little bit harder for me to accomplish without stacking it on to another one that I'm already doing. Okay, so there's the habit tracker for January. And as you can see here, on the 20th, I moved things around. I changed up either the order of some of these things because it didn't flow. It didn't, the stacking felt odd, like I felt like I had to jump from one place to the other, so it didn't have a nice flow. So what I did is I just grabbed a piece of paper, the same width as the weekly columns, the same length, and then I think I added, as you can see there, an additional bit where I can glue it down. See how I've glued it down and then just folded it and then rewrote the order of the habits and routines. So instead of going, oh, I saw as part of my mid-month check-in that certain habits and routines I wasn't completing, and then I had reflected and I figured out why. It's because it just, the flow of it didn't go right, so I made a course corrected. And this is so important. Whatever your habits and goals are, you can change it. You don't have to stick with it if it's not working out. I mean, of course, give it a chance, right? Don't just give up after 2 days. You have to give it a little bit of traction to make sure, is it working? Is it not working? Or is it just I have to move things around? So that's what I did, sort of past midway on the 20th of the month. All right. So based on how I did with the habits and routines that is related to my goals, I'm going to reflect on how well I did for January. So for January, it's now January 31st here. I'm in Sydney, Australia. I will just look at the first 30 days because, of course, I haven't completed any of today's habits and routines because it's only, 5 a.m. here in Sydney. So I'm going to look at, I'll reflect on how well I did with the habits and routines that I have put in place to achieve the goals that I have set for myself for the month, using my habit tracker as my progress report, and then create sort of like a satisfaction or a completion score out of 10, because the end of month reflection page has a wheel of life pie chart. So each of this segment, I'm going to link back to one of these key areas of focus. And based on how well I did, so you can be mathematical about this, or you can just go by flow, go by feeling how satisfied you were. It doesn't have to be like, rocket science. But I love maths and I love being able to have something that I can grasp. So I'm going to look at the number of days out of 30 I actioned the specific goal or habit that I have set for myself to get to my goal. Okay, so hopefully that is something that you're able to follow along. And if you are new to goal setting or habit tracking, this may be a little bit too much for you. So if it's giving you anxiety, save this video for next time when you have started to get some traction, because sometimes it can get a little bit difficult to try and achieve your goals and achieve your habits when you feel like, oh, I have to do so many things all at the same time that it paralyzes you. So if you are not yet at the stage where you can reflect on how well you did, because maybe you haven't created enough traction, and so of course if you're not consistent yet, you might then start to feel like, oh, I mustn't be good at it. Now remember, like anything, like habits take a lot of time to stick. But for it to stick, you just got to keep trying. And if you miss a day or two or a week or so, it's okay. It's about the getting back up and trying again. Or just going, you know what? Trying to work out in the morning is not good for me. I don't, I want to do something else. I want to do something more fun, like playing with my plan and then spending half an hour on the walking pad or doing some sort of exercise, right? So give yourself a little bit of chance, a little bit of grace to not be so hard on yourself. So if you are not yet at the stage of tracking habits consistently, because again, that is a practice, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Hold off. Go and save this video for when you are ready. All right, pop it in your watch for later, because the last thing I want is for you to do all of this, create the goal, track your habits, and then now reflect, and you're like, this is just too much, Marianne. Now, I've been doing this for a number of years, and sometimes it still overwhelms me. So, like everything I say, one step at a time. Take it easy, take small, actionable steps. Where are you in this journey? Have you not set goals yet? Just start off with that. What's the most important thing, or what's the top priority that you would like to achieve in February? Is it drinking more water? Fantastic. Just put that. Drink more water in February. Is it, taking a walk outside? Take a walk outside 3 to 5 times per week. Reading a book? Read 2 pages a book, right? Keep it simple, because at the beginning, the goal is not to achieve the actual or have the outcome, it's the actually getting started. All right. So if you are watching on here on chat, give me a thumbs up, or of course, if you are watching on replay, write in the comment section what is a top priority that you would like to achieve for the month of February. And do me a favor, when you write it down, have a verb or an action word in it. So don't just say, lose weight. Okay, that's too general. Make it specific. Don't just say learn more, right? So it'd be like reading a book, or learning a new language by watching something on YouTube for 5 minutes. Okay, make it specific, make it actionable. So that means got to be a doing word or a verb in there. Okay, so, or if you have already had a goal and you are slowly starting to track it, then just have a look with your reflection. Just maybe my gut feeling, was it good? Give it a rating out of 10, or give it a rating out of 5. How did I go? You know what? I give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 for others might be going, that's not so good. But when it was 0 out of 10 the previous months, 6 out of 10 is fantastic. So see how I have actually called it reflection, because don't just take things at face value. I could easily go, all right, didn't get myself outside enough. I didn't do a workout enough. I could easily go, oh, I must have failed. Okay, maybe it was just for me. When before I got on live, I was thinking about it's like, why haven't I gotten myself outside and gotten fresh air? Why haven't I worked out? I have just been so tired. I have been sleeping more, I think, than I have in the last few months. I'm just really tired. Now, I don't know if this is part of my perimenopause. I've got to go get my blood test done, and I've got to go do all my other, checkups. I've had my a breast screen done, and thank goodness no cancer was detected from the test. Now I've got to get the pap smear done. I've got to get my blood test done, and then when you turn 50 here in Australia, we will get an envelope in the mail to get your poop test done. So wow, they really remind you when you're 50 that, hey, let's check the engine and make sure that it is all working dandy. Okay, so I've been just really tired, even though I have been resting and sleeping more. So it could be my hormones. So I can't just go, oh, Marianne, you didn't go outside, you didn't go and do your workout. But reflecting on it, it could be because of the changes that's happening in my body. So that's a way for me to reflect, and which means I gotta go and get checked by the doctor and get all the tests that he told me to do when I visited him before Christmas. So I gotta put that in maybe for my physical well-being, as my goal for February is visit the doctor and get all the things that he told me to do. So there you go. I've already thought of, just by speaking it out loud, looking and reviewing my habits tracker, that I've already created some, actionable goals for myself for February for my physical well-being. Okay, so we'll keep going. So the end of month reflection, like I said, has a wheel of life pie chart. Each of this segment will correspond with the goal I created at the beginning of the month. I'm gonna color it in. So there's 10 little segments per pie, and I'm going to count how many days out of 30 I action the steps, and then percentage wise or out of 10, I'm going to color it in. So come along with me as I do this live and see how well I went. Now I'm going to start off. You can color it in any way you want. I color code mine. So as you can see here, for me, blue is the mental well-being, so that's my reading my book. Pink for me is physical. Green is my spiritual, which is meditating. Purple or lilac is for family or home. Finance is this nice aqua or teal. Orange is for my career, which is my content creation. And then yellow is for my connecting with loved ones, so this social well-being. Okay, so the way I color it in is based on how well the order I action it throughout the day. So one of the first things that I do as part of my day, which is related to my goals, is meditate. Okay, so meditate for me is green. So I'm going to take my zebra mild liner, the end, which is the fine tip. So for those of you who may not know, it is a double-sided marker. So one side is your chiseled end and the other is the fine tip end. So I'm going to use the fine tip end. Now I'm going to get my a post-it note and my handy dandy calculator, and then I'm just going to count how many times did I do my meditation in January. So remember, again, you don't have to be this specific. You don't have to be, look, I love maths, okay, and it's something that I can grasp. And I think the way my brain works, I need something that's tangible. So meditate. Now I did change the order part way through, so I'm just going to go meditate. So instead of counting, so let me just zoom in a little bit. So instead of counting the number of days that I actioned it, I'm just going to count the number of days I didn't and minus that from 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here 6, 7. So I'm just going to do it out of 30 because I'm not counting today, the last day of the month. So 30 minus 7. So I meditated 23 times or 23 days out of 30. And that is about, I'm going to just say 76% or 7 out of 10. I'm going to make it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I did well. So I'm going to take my first pie chart and I'm just going to, remember this has 10 segments. So instead of percentage of 76%, I'm just going to do out of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's say 7.5. All right, and then you just color in. And guess what? If you love stationery and coloring in, so not only is this a great way for you to review how well you did with your habits and routines to achieve the goals that you have created for yourself at the beginning of the month, it's also a great mindfulness and self-care practice because you are taking time for yourself. You are reflecting on how well you did. And then if there are areas, you'll see there are areas that I didn't action it. But I'm not going to be hard on myself. I used to, I used to think it was a failure. But when you start to see on a wheel of life pie chart like this, you get to see visually how well you have gone and progressed from when you were at the beginning of the month. Or you can do this, you can create goals every 3 months or every week if you want, right? So just something that's, remember, manageable for you. So that I'm going to put here was meditate, okay? So then I know my own color coding, but if by any chance later down the track I change my color coding, it'll let me know that, oh, okay, that was related to that my habit and goal that I wanted to meditate daily using my Headspace app. Okay, so the score that I've given myself for that is 7.5 that is a win for me. That is brilliant. I like that. It's not about 100%. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about, making sure you get a balanced. Okay, so it's about balance. The next thing that I had on there is my reading. Okay, so I'm going to use the blue. So for reading, it says read the Let Them Theory book by Mel Robbins, minimum of 10 minutes, as well as doing my course. So let's have a look. Did I read and learn? So there it is. So I'm just going to count the number of days I did it, much easier. One, two, well, actually, probably, let's do, no, it's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here, 8, 9, 10. So out of 30, I didn't read 10 days, so I read 20 days. Okay, so let's just put this, meditate, read. Okay, now of course, if I'm doing this on my own, this can take only 5 to 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to take a long time. You can take as long as you want. For me, I'll probably take more time coloring in. And that's the part that is part of my mindfulness, part of the things that I like to do, which is, filling in my planner. All right, so I got to go to my trusty calculator because sometimes I get too pedantic about these sort of things. So out of 30, I read 66% out of in the month. So I'm going to call that as about six and a half out of 10. So I get my marker, and then this one will be my reading. So read or learn. And I did that. What did I say? 6 to 6. So let's say 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be exact. Because remember, this Wheel of Life pie chart is just a nice visual guide. Because sometimes if you have that, you can easily just go, oh, I didn't do so well in certain areas. But this just sort of like gives you, it pinpoints it even more. And then it just gives you a nice bird's eye view, because that's all we're doing is overall, how balanced is our life based on the goals and routines and the habits that we have set for ourselves, or that you have set for yourself, and you have said, this is important to me. Okay, I want to achieve this for the month of January, because I think it's important that I'm looking after my brain, that I'm putting movement in my day, that I'm, being mindful, meditating, so then my anxious thoughts does not take over and I go into a spiral of overwhelm and self-doubt and limiting beliefs, that I'm spending time with my family or decluttering my house, because that as well affects your well-being, that I'm looking after my savings, that I'm not spending too much, that I'm trying, seeing my potential on how much more I can earn, and also looking at my career or my content creation for me specifically, and how well am I connecting and not neglecting my loved ones and my friends. Again, you don't have to have goals for each area. Concentrate on 1 to 2. What is the most important? So if you're feeling like, you're not happy with the way you look, your health, your nutrition, that might be a top priority. And that could just be as simple as, not skipping your meals, making sure that you are being more mindful when you're eating, that you're not carelessly eating and then watching like I do your iPhone, and then by the time you've finished your meal, you are just so full, because hey, you ate, it was on the plate, so I ate it all, right? So just being mindful and just going, oh, I'm full now, I might stop even if there's food on there. Okay, so your goals and the habits that you set need to apply to where you are at the moment, where you are within your capacity. If you know you can't do 10-minute, 20-minute workout, or you can't give up yet on all the lovely junk food, maybe minimize it or just maybe start small. Don't set yourself up so with such a high expectation that you might set yourself up for failure, and then that in itself can drive you bonkers, because then you start believing that, oh, I mustn't be good because I said, oh, this is important, and then I didn't action it. See, Marianne, I told you you weren't good. And then there's the spiral, and it's so hard to get out of that spiral. But if you set small, tiny, achievable goals, what it does is it starts to build momentum. So the goal sometimes is not about the losing the weight, the 5 kilograms. So that's mine, right? So at the end of March, my ultimate goal is just a direction that I want to go to is lose 5 kilograms. And then I sort of like, okay, forget that, because now I'm going to need to concentrate on what are the daily actionable steps I can do to get there, get towards there. So even if I don't lose 5 kilograms at the end of March, but if I'm doing my getting outside, walking for 5 minutes, walking for 10 minutes, which is more than let's say I ever did in October, November, December, that is a win. And that's what we want, is to be able to start tallying the wins rather than tallying the fails or falling off the wagon. Okay, very, very important. All right, so that's the reading. So again, now I'm not even looking at numbers. So once I start filling this in, I'm not going to go, oh, in meditation I only did 7.5 or 75% in reading. All it is now, it's visually. So for me, they're on par with each other. I think that's a good achievement. So for me, I know, let's just say those were the only goals and habits I had for January. I would go, that is a great achievement. So I'll either keep going with the habits that I have set for myself, or I might increase it. So maybe from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Okay. And just trying to up the ante just that little bit, because what you want to do with any types of habits is be able to set a bar that's achievable, but not too easy and not too hard. Okay, so you have to give it a little bit of a challenge. So then that way you are, because we all love challenges. We all want to try and, get better at something. Okay, so far I'm liking that it's pretty balanced. Okay, so then let's have a look on my tracker. So again, the tracker allows me to see the steps, the actionable steps that I have set on a daily basis to get to my goal. Okay, so walking pad. So I think now it's the physical part of my goal. How well did I do with going on my walking pad? Okay, so I'm gonna again just count the number of days I did it and just do it backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I didn't do it 16 days out of 30, but I did do it 14 days out of 30. Okay, and then also I think I did a workout. So there's another second part to my goals for working out or physical. So where's my workout? There. All right, this one I'm just going to count the number of days because it's less. 1, 2, 3, workout 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 out of 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, all right, so based on my goals that I wanted to achieve for January for my movement or my physical well-being, I wanted to go on my walking pad. So I did that 14 days out of 30, and I also wanted to do some workouts. I did work out 8 days out of 30. So I'm just going to look again. It doesn't have to be like exact science or exact maths. So I'm just going to just go 14 plus 8, all right, divided by 60. So on average, so I did about through 37%. Okay, 37% of my well-being, my physical well-being. So let's say that's nearly, let's say 3.5. out of 10. So I'm just scoring, okay? So again, it doesn't, I don't have to go, oh, Marianne, that's not right because, you said you're going to do 3. It's like, really, it's the gut feeling. So yes, I know 1, 2, 3, I only achieved probably my workout and my walking on the walking pad on a satisfaction scale of 1 to 10. Yeah, 3.5 or a 4 out of 10 is on par with how well I did. Okay, so right, the next, so let's do, what's this one? This is, let's say, we're going to say movement, okay, because I did some movement. All right, so we're reflecting on how well I did with the habits and routines that I have set for myself based on the goals that I have set, that I said I wanted to do for January. Okay, and so this, for some, I know it's, you might go and have a look. Oh, but Marianne, reflecting on my month or how well I did or didn't do can get depressing, because then it might point out the things that I didn't do. Very important that you are very kind to yourself. You might go, I didn't do a lot of exercise. So if you're like me, if movement and exercising is a top priority for you, yet you didn't do well at that, but there could be a reason. You might have been on holidays. You might have been ill. You might have been looking after someone else. So that's why reflecting on it is so important, because face value, you could just go, that's a shame. I didn't do too well, right? For me, yes, I would love to have moved a little bit more, but also I was very, very tired. There's something physical, something that's changing within me, and I know that, right? And so I have to be kind enough to myself to not put so much pressure that then I undo the good things that I'm doing. I should celebrate that based on my satisfaction. Okay, 3.5 out of 10, maybe not so good. So, what do I need to do in the new month? Is it still an important priority? Yes. Okay. Why didn't it work, Marianne? Why is it that you didn't do enough workout like you said you wanted? And maybe it's because, maybe I need to. When I go visit my doctor, I need to go, is there anything that I can do or eat naturally? Because I want to try and do a lot of natural things first rather than, relying on supplements or anything like that. Because I want to make sure first that I can get the sustenance that I need from the food that I eat. So I'll ask him that. So I know with that one, that is a great question for me to ask my general practitioner. It's like, look, I really want to go and exercise more, but I seem to be so tired even though I've been sleeping so well. And then when we do the blood test, he'll be able to tell me whatever it is the blood test will tell me. Okay, so be kind to yourself. And if you feel like, oh, it might point out the things you're not doing, this is when you go and look at the things that are going well. All right, so just very important that you look at it holistically. Is there a balance? All right, and sometimes there'll be an imbalance because something will take higher priority, or there might be an emergency, that happens. Okay, so what's the next thing on my goals and habits? So, priority of the day. So for me, I put priority of the day. Normally, I have as my top priority is doing some income producing activity that relates to my content creation, to my shop, to my YouTube. So, how well did I do in actioning my priority of the day, which relates to my career, which is, content creation and social influence? So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. So I only missed 8 days out of 30. So 30 minus 8, which means added 22 days. So work out So what did I say? Career. 22 out of 30, I actioned the top priority activities that I wanted to achieve for that day when it comes to my career or my content creation. So that's a 7 out of 10 satisfaction or actioning it. I'm going to use my orange. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now remember, if you're only for the moment starting out, and you're not setting goals in all 7 key areas of focus, and you just have 1 to 2 that you're going to focus on for the month of February, then just use one piece of the pie. And then you can then reflect later on and just go, ooh, last month satisfaction was 6 out of 10. This month is 7 out of 10. I can see improvement. So, if you're only doing 1, 2, 3, or 4, you can leave the reflection at that, or, to see how well you did for the month of, your current month. So what's this one? This one is career. All right. So I'm pretty good. I know I'm quite consistent posting on Instagram, coming on here on YouTube, whether it's my live, posting on the community post. So that I'm pretty happy with. So keep going at that. I'll probably in February, the activity, I'm going to make sure that, yes, if I'm doing that, I need to make sure are the things that I'm doing though producing income for our family. So I might be working really hard, but if it's areas that don't increase my followers or my subscribers or lead them to my shop, then maybe I'm focusing on things that aren't moving the needle. So then that could be something that I need to go and review for February. Okay, so hopefully through my own example of how I reflect on my own goals and the habits and routines that I set to get there, you can start getting ideas for yourself. Because the hardest part of creating goal is that everyone says is make sure you have this goal, make sure it's smart, specific, measurable, actionable, relatable or realistic and time bound, and then they stop there. And they don't guide you as to, okay, I did it, or I didn't do it. What do I do now? And that's where I have fallen in the past as well. As like, I'm so gung ho. I create new goals for the new year, the new month, the new week, and then I just go, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, I'm no good. Oh, I'm a failure. Oh, see, I told you. What's the point, right? And then you get into this spiral of negativity. But when you actually reflect on it, you go, of course I didn't get to do that. It's because, my kids' end of year school stuff took over, or there were parties, or there was a big celebration as part of our family. Of course I didn't get to. And then that's when you go, reflect. You forget, because sometimes you forget all the other things that's happened on in the month, and all you see is like the empty planner pages, when in actual fact you did a lot, you just didn't record it, or something else happened. So very, very important to reflect on your progress, not about being 100%, not being about perfectionism. So what's next? Connection. So in my habits and routines, I make sure I try and DM, FaceTime my mum and dad, talk to my brother, say hello to my niece and nephew, my sister-in-law, my auntie, my friends, my content creation, friends, making sure that I'm connecting with them. So let's see how well I did, because connection and being part of a community that uplifts you, and then also that you can share the challenges and the goals you might be going through, helps lighten the load. So if you at the moment feel like, no, I'm alone, no one else is going through what I'm going through, I feel like I have nobody, make sure you are connecting with loved ones kindred spirits, a community, join clubs, hang out with me on my Monday live stream, and then chat to the people on the live, and then seeing familiar names, and sharing your wins and your challenges and your struggles helps lighten the load, because someone else might go, yeah, me too, I've had a hard difficult time too. And then you actually then go, by sharing is caring, and it helps lighten the load as well as amplify the win, because you might go, yes, I did really well, and then other people go, oh my god, that's wonderful news, Marianne, oh my god, that's great to hear. You then, your chest lifts up, your chin goes up, your shoulders back, right? You start to feel the good things by sharing it. So if you feel like you are alone, see if you can, connect with others, okay? And I do have my Plannerettes community that you can go and find out. That's why I also share, where are you tuning in from? Even just the same part of the world where you're all like freezing, or we're boiling here because it's sweating hot summer, right? Just those sharing commonality helps feel that you're part of a community. And that's why connection or social well-being is an important part of providing balance and harmony in your life. So go and make sure, even just, I have set it on my phone every 2 weeks, contact my niece, contact my nephew, hello. A lot of the teenagers nowadays, they don't answer a lot, but just know me letting them know that I'm here, how are you, how's work, how's studies, then allows me to go, if they ever need me, they'll know that I'm just a phone call away or a text message away. Okay, so connect. Let's have I did with my connect. Where is it? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of 30 days in January, I didn't connect with anyone, outside of my family, that is. Of course, I'm connecting with my boys and my husband. So 22 days out of 30. So connect. I somehow DM'd, private messaged, FaceTime, visited or met up with people, or invited people over. So 22 divided by 30, so again 7 out of 10. So I'm giving it a score. So what color is it? 7 out of 10. I connected with my loved ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in the past, this particular pie chart used to be 2 or 3. So I have come a long way, because I used to think, well, why do I have to be the one that reaches out all the time? So I had that resentment, It's like, why don't they call me? And it's like, well, I got to go, put my hand out and be the one. And I don't know what's going on in their life. They might be having difficulty. And here I am, sooking or brooding. Why aren't anybody touching base with me? Or why isn't anybody DMing me? They might be going through difficult moments. And then me reaching out to them might just be the thing they need to help uplift them. So that's why the connecting part, I don't leave it to others. I go and do the connection. And so, but there are times and there are days that I just don't want to talk to anybody. As you can see, I don't connect with everyone each and every day, because it's just like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to stay under my blanket. And that is okay too, from time to time. Okay, so let's have a look. So this one is connect or social well-being. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So look, I know already, as you can see on the Wheel of Life pie chart, visually, I can already see certain areas that, maybe, so you can name it whatever you want. The satisfied, did I action it, or, how much focus or priority did I apply to it? So straight away, I know movement, and movement for me is an important priority. So a lot of times the movement pie, is very small, but I keep trying. I keep trying my best. I don't give up, even though, so, others might go, Marianne, you keep putting workout on there, yet you're not actioning it. You mustn't be any good at it. I'm going, no, I'm just not good yet at maintaining the habit of figuring out the best time, the best combination. Is it time? Is it exercise? Or all these other stuff. So I have to figure it out. But I'll only be able to figure it out if I keep trying month in, month out, day in, day out. One of these days, that pie chart is also gonna be up there amongst these other things. So really important. It's not about the falls, it's the getting up, right? As a lot of us, fall 7 times, get up, 8 times. It's the same thing. Keep trying, and sometimes maybe there'll be a priority or goal that you have that you can't dedicate enough time. Maybe leave it out for February, because let's just say, movement or exercising, and then I have a big project in February that I get to travel, I have to drive here, I have to drive there. So there's less time to be able to make maybe movement as a big part. So maybe it'll just be a tiny little actionable step. Okay, so you can change your focus and priority based on your energy level, what else is happening in your life. So it's not about getting each and everything done 100% or all the same amount. What you don't want to happen is month in, month out, if there is a high priority, that it's, there's no improvement or there's no progress. What this will highlight is just, if it's important to you, what else can we do in the new month for us to be able to achieve it and start tallying goals and wins. Okay, right, what's next in there? So connect. I think this one for family, there it is, time, the connection. So my family will spend quality time with hubby. So this is us watching TV, all right? So just having chats together, seeing what's happening with our boys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 out of 30 was quality time, like intentional time together. So of course we spend time together chatting and having dinner and all that stuff, but actually setting aside time to just spend quality time. So 11 out of 30 was about 4 out of 10 satisfaction. So let's go for that. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually yesterday he said to me, when he goes for a walk with our younger son, because we homeschool our 16-year-old son who's on the autism spectrum, and so parts of their routine is going around a big park near us, and then he saw a cafe that has a nice deck chair. They bring out the coffee to you and they bring out your pastry, and he said, look, I want to take you there, but I'll, because of course our older son like I said earlier, has a very active social life now. So when we know he's not working or going to school or out with his friends, he's going to go, come on, quick, let's go, put your shoes on, let's go have coffee over there. And so we have to take that time when the moment arises, and so that's part of his goal, is to take me out for coffee and pastry. And so it's like, okay, I'm down for that. But he said, but when I say come on, let's go, I don't want you to go, oh, I don't feel good, I don't have anything to wear. So he already knew the excuses that I might have, that, oh, my hair doesn't look good, or I haven't showered, blah blah. So it's going, none of those, you got to go, let's go. And then that's our time together. So even he is noting that, it's important for us, not just, as parents of someone who's on the autism spectrum or has learning differences, but really nurturing our relationship. We've been together for 26 years, married for 16, 17 years. And so it's important that we also nurture that. Just because we're married and, we get on pretty well, we have the same sense of humor, and we have the same goals when it comes to our family and our boys. But you got to nurture it like anything. Just because you're married, just because you have the ring on your finger, doesn't mean that that's it. It's important that we nurture it. And so that's really important that he too went, oh, I want to take Marianne there. But I have to tell her, when we say let's go, we got to go. None of this, oh, my hair is oily. And I already know that's probably what I was saying. Okay, so the last one is financial. I don't think I put anything financial here. So my goal here was to track. Oh no, I do track my daily expenses. So let me see. I won't put it. I won't put it on screen. Only I think Let me see. So I have my traveler's notebook. So I've been tracking that for the last 23 days. So 23 added 30. So I've been tracking. Whoopsie. Oopsie. Okay, that's fallen apart, fallen off where I had it sitting. So I'll just put it down here. So 20, like the 23 out of 30, because I said I wanted to track our daily, my sales. So about seven and a half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Although, so see how this is where reflection comes in. So even though I was tracking the sales that I was having daily, and so far I've noted 23 days out of 30. If I put here 7.5, technically for me that because I am reflecting. Remember, it's sometimes the face value of what your planner says, the completed or incomplete tasks and to-dos, or your habit tracker does not necessarily mean you haven't achieved your goals or you've achieved your goals. It's just that maybe you're just ticking things off. So same thing as being busy doesn't mean you're being productive, because you might be focusing, you might be ticking things off your list, but if those things aren't important and it's things that matter to someone else, then you are not doing anything that is of value or what matters to you. So that's why a lot of people goes, but it looks, I've done so much stuff today, but I still feel like empty. There's no essence to the things that I've done. So I'm actually going to leave that empty, because even though I've tracked it, I've only tracked it because I looked at my report, but I actually haven't tracked it, I think, in the way I wanted to here, which is having a look more strategically on what else I can do to increase my sales. So I'm going to leave that. So that doesn't mean, just because it's empty doesn't mean I failed. See how this is where I want you to start to see that when you're reflecting on something, the empty spaces or the non-ticks or the empty planner pages does not necessarily mean you didn't do stuff or you did stuff. It's how well or how satisfied were you in actioning those things. So I'm going to leave it at that, because it's not so much that I failed or I didn't do it. It's just the essence of how I want to measure it. It was non-existent, as in I didn't track it. I didn't track it in that way. So I'm going to leave it blank and see now, like I said, you don't have to have the goals and routines for all areas. So really important, just go, this is your own reflection. This is not based on anyone else's, goals, routines, what you see on Instagram, what you see on your Pinterest. This is just you. And there's a sense of honesty that you need to give yourself, like I'm going, okay, did you do it or didn't you do it? And if you didn't do it, why not? Oh, okay, because you were sick. Of course, yes, of course you can't achieve it if you can't, you weren't well, or you were, your priority was on something else. But then if you go, well, why didn't you do it? Well, it's because I was lazy. I didn't want to. I sat on the couch eating junk food. And then I got to be honest with myself. Oh, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go and have your jeans fit you well? Or do you want to go eat the bags of chips? So at the moment, I like eating the bags of chips, but I know I'm going to go in and put more movement. Is probably That's why I'm probably feeling lethargic and tired, because I'm not putting in nutrition and working out of a higher priority. Okay, so now based on this, I can now go, all right, let's have a look. For February, what are your top 1, 2, or 3 priorities? So number 1 is my physical well-being. Okay, and then time with my husband. So I'm just doing some color coding. So maybe time with hubby. So that's okay. So these are the goals. And then we're going to do the actions and the steps, the simple actionable steps that I can do, whether on a daily basis or a regular basis. And then probably look, the 3 is, let's have a look. Let's do that. Is maybe promote my products. Okay. So I need to use my products more, so then that way I can showcase it more. So moving into February, those will be my top 3. Because the other areas of focus I'm doing quite well, which means I am getting better at habitually doing them. So that means, you're not having to think up of it anymore. There's not a lot of resistance, because I have worked at it for years, trying every single time, day in, day out. I've fallen many times with my reading and meditating, and then I try and get back up again, and then you start to build the habit. So then with those areas, I'm still going to keep doing them, but they're not the top priority. So then if, let's say, meditation next month is, maybe a 5, and then my anxiety, overwhelm, self-doubt, and limiting belief isn't high, then it's okay that I didn't meditate as much. Or if the reading and learning is a little bit lower, that's okay, because I was focusing on my career and, my shop. So see how now you can start to see visually, by using the wheel of life pie chart, you can reflect. It's like, and not just go, I failed at this, I didn't do well at this, I sucked at this, I did this, right? Now you can go, oh, okay, that's not too bad. A score out of 6 out of 10 is pretty good, when last few months I wasn't even doing anything. It was a 0 out of 10. So hopefully through this exercise of me reflecting on my own goals at the month that I have set for myself, okay, the goals that I said are important to me, and I created actionable, simple, easy steps to achieve me, or help me get to the goal. Doesn't mean I have to achieve and be 100% woohoo, achieve it, but what can I do each and every day or on a regular basis that'll help me get to the goal closer and closer. And then with that, I wrote it out on my habit tracker to see, okay, throughout the day, do this, do this, do this. There's a key area of focus habit. Do this, do this, do this. And then I have mid-month check-in as well as end-of-month reflection to see how well I am going and how well I did with those. And then this can then, based on this visual, I can see, okay, is that still important to you? Yes. Right. top priority. Is spending time with your husband still important to you for February? Yes, put it in your February goals. What's next? Okay, making sure that we increase our sales. Right, what do you need to do? So these are the top view goals. And then on another video, I will then do exactly the same as I did at the beginning of January. Is what steps do I need to do on a daily or regular basis for the month of February that will help me get to these goals and make sure that these top priorities are getting actioned or that I'm getting closer. Hello there, Jewish Planner Mom. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me, Lauren. I appreciate you. Okay, so my reflection will now allow me to be in a better position to plan out my goals for the new month. Again, with you, you might plan goals every quarter. Maybe for you, being granular and doing it month by month might be too much. You don't have to do it month by month. You can go every 3 months. For me, I can't go every 3 months because I don't even know what I'm doing next week, right? Let alone next month. So I need to have a little bit more I need to narrow my focus because this is me, because I forget. I get distracted by so many other things I want to do instead of the things that I said I should do. Okay, so that is my end of month reflection. Let me just pop everything back where I started. So my January goal sits at the beginning of the month. So my goals at the beginning of the month. My habit tracker is just after my calendar. And then, like I said, the mid-month and the end of month reflection page is a new planner page that I have included in my Ultimate Planner Bundle printable download. Okay, I have put the link in the chat right now. It is also in the description, so have a look at that. So links are in the description below. Do check that out, and let me show you. I'll just move that so it's not glaring. Okay, so just a quick flip through. You get a where are we? You get a Wheel of Life Wheel of Life goals tracker. The back of it, it has a mid-month check-in. Then this one is a dotted monthly cover page that you can embellish any way you want, or if you sign up to my email newsletter, you get on a monthly basis a free printable download that you can embellish or color in any way you want. So there's January. I think January is still there, so you can do that. There's February, and then it has a calendar, so you have all the things you need to know what's happening for your month. Then it has the habit tracker. So I've already set up my habit tracker for February. And those are the 22 habits and routines that I do each and every day. Remember, a lot of them are things I already do. I just have it there to help me stack or link the habits and new habits and routines that I haven't yet established habitually. There's a mood, and this is a sleep tracker, but instead of sleep, I'm tracking my step count. So I just correction tape this LEEP and then put steps instead. And so instead of number of hours of sleep, it's thousands of steps. And then on my Monday live stream, so if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that bell so you do get notified of when I upload new videos, as well as when I go live for my live stream. So I'm going to be doing on my Monday, a lot of your Sundays, my well-being planner spread and my weekly spread. And then it has daily pages for your, so then again you can even be more granular, more specific. So you're just focusing on that, no distraction, you're just focusing on your day. So you get 5 weeks worth of well-being planner spread, weekly spread, and daily pages. So you print this. There are a lot of pages in it, but if you are someone who's quite get overwhelmed, you feel like you have so many tasks and to-dos, this just helps you focus things. So you start off, it's like if you can imagine a funnel. What's my goal for the month? What do I need to do each month? What's happening for the week? How can I plan and do those each and every day? So that's all it is. It's just narrowing it down. So then it removes all the other noise. It removes all the other distractions. And then you can then concentrate on the tasks that you have said are important for you at the that you want to action each and every day. Okay, now I don't do everything each and every day, but it's not about having to get everything 100% done. It's about what can I do today that's within my capacity, that is within my energy level. If my energy level is a little bit low, maybe I'll just do 2 minutes instead of 15 minutes, okay? It has a gratitude log. So for me, the way I use the dotted, so you get dotted pages, I just write 1 to 2 things down that I'm grateful for each and every day. Again, it's not every day that I, get to write things down. And it's not because I'm not grateful. It's like I have nothing grateful for. It's just other things I'm doing, like sleeping, like sitting on the couch enjoying my me time. Okay, so not about getting everything filled in. And then of course victory log has been a really wonderful way for me to look for the wins of the day, because the way my mind works, I go towards negative things, the things I've done or haven't done or that I've failed at. So I'm trying to get better by looking for the victories and wins of the day. So you get 5 weeks worth of that. And then of course, there's the end of month reflection. So this is so far my victory log. That was last week. And it's so nice to just, caught up with a friend, caught up with 2 friends. So these are, Zoom meetings that I've caught up with friends. See, sometimes I don't get to that weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of January 13th to 19th. I was just really, really tired. I slept on the couch and I napped for so long. And so I'm okay that I didn't go, write down everything. So you have to know yourself of what it is that you didn't do because you did something else that was higher importance. Okay, so that is the Ultimate Planner Bundle printable. So in here, so there's January, there's December, and then of course moving on to the new month. Where is my new month? Where did I go? I think it's this. Oh, it's because I took off. There it is. I took off my clear divider tab. Okay, so there we are. Based on, just a recap, based on the goals that I have set for myself for the month of January, and noting down what small actionable steps do I need to do each day to get me closer to those goals. And I then use my habit tracker to track it and be able to see my progress. And based on how many times I did or didn't do it for the month of January, so I only did 30 days because it was the last day of January, I gave myself a score on my end of reflection page, and then see straight away visually, because I'm a visual learner, that movement and spending time with my husband and looking at my shop, right, that I need to have those as my top priority moving into the new month. And then when I go and do my new month, I'll take you along with me as well. So if you are watching this on replay, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button and share it with a friend who's also maybe wants to start tracking their goals or how to reflect on how well they did with their month, because sometimes for you to be able to look forward or plan for the new month, you got to see how far you've come along. You got to see the progress that you've made. So really, really important that you plan. So I don't know if you guys saw, I actually changed my tagline from plan, do, review to plan, make, reflect, right? So it's not just about doing the tasks and ticking off the to-do list, but actually making and creating joy for ourselves and infusing fun and play. And that's why, for us, we love our planners and our stickers and our colorful markers and, creating colorful pages and making doodles and stuff like that, right? Make it fun, make it enjoyable. And then once you've done that, reflect on how well you did. Reflect on your wins. Reflect on your progress. So then that way you can be in a better position moving on to the new month and be able to set yourself up for success. All right, so I appreciate you. Make sure to add in the comments if you have any aha moments or any questions at all for me. I am more than happy to help and answer and, say, and even share how well what top wins you have for January, and we will help celebrate you. Patricia, thank you so much for joining me from Italy. I appreciate you so much. So once again, make sure you are having fun, infusing a lot of self-care, a lot of me time into your planning and what you are planning. Be intentional with it. Don't just do all the tasks and to-dos that matter to everybody else. Put you on top of the list and make it fun and as part of your self-care. I'll see you again next time. Bye, everyone.